What's going on, YouTube? It's the Foot here from the Foot Gaming. Welcome back to another episode of the F0ot Talks. It's a weekly series where I'll just pick a topic, talk about it over a gameplay. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment below. Let me know what you had to think about what I had to say. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started into it. It's not a real long one. I've been on that dark matter grind. I finally got it. This is one of the gameplays from the last few days of the grind. So hope you enjoy the gameplay too. But if you haven't heard what's been going on, I don't know where the fuck you've been living under a rock or whatever. You got Harambe the gorilla, he got shot. You got a gay nightclub, got shot the fuck up, and then you got a kid that got ate by an alligator, or killed by an alligator. He didn't actually get eaten by him, but he was killed by him. And people are pretty divided on these topics, so I figure I want to talk about them today. First, Harambe. I blame the parents. I honestly, I blame the mother. I understand she had 6 kids at the zoo. It's a tough burden to take on. I wouldn't be able to do it. Fuck no, not in a million years would I be able to do it. I have a hard enough time keeping an eye. Well, I don't have a hard enough time keeping an eye on one kid. I have a hard enough time keeping my sanity with one kid, let alone 6 of them. It would drive me absolutely insane. But if she took on that responsibility, then she is responsible. There's people saying why wasn't there a better security system set up around the thing? All right, so there's a fence. It's not a real good fence. It's a wooden fence, but it's a fence. And there was bushes, that the kid had to crawl through. Then there's a 15-foot fucking drop into a goddamn water moat. That's pretty good security in my opinion. They wanted to keep it as a natural, quote unquote, you can't see me air quoting over here, but natural habitat for the gorilla. They want you to be able to see the gorilla without looking through glass. Glass gets dirty, it gets smeared up. They gotta hire people to come in and clean it. It's a dangerous job. You gotta get the fucking gorilla enclosure, clean the glass and shit. Not real safe. So they want to leave it as an open kind of enclosure. And then there's people that are pissed off that they shot the gorilla. What the fuck else were they going to do? I mean, you got a gorilla with a kid. There was one story of a gorilla that brought the kid over to the feeding slot for the trainers and shit to come and retrieve the kid. One time that happened. But this was not the case with this gorilla. He was angry, he was agitated. Not so much with the kid, but he was just getting, everybody screaming and shit, he's getting irritated. So they had to put him down. If they would have shot him with a tranquilizer, he would have became unstable. The tranquilizers take 20 minutes to kick in. And he would have been fucked up and not known what he was doing, and probably would have hurt the kid. So I understand you gotta shoot the gorilla, but again, maybe shoot the mom. She shouldn't have let the fucking kid in the goddamn gorilla pen. So next, then we had the shooting this past weekend in the gay nightclub down in Orlando, where the guy walked in and just started unloading on people. And there's 2 sides to this as well. There's your typical Sandy Hook conspiracers that are saying that it's a false flag, that it is the government brainwashing you through the media, saying that this happened when in reality it didn't. You've got the pictures I've been seeing of floating around the internet with the same looking white girl who's crying at all your major catastrophic events. Do I believe that it didn't happen? No. Do I believe that it's as bad as it's being made out to be? Not really. Do I believe people died? Yes, I do. I think that it really went down the way that it did, but it's also being broadcast the way that it is because they like to capitalize on these things. They like to see these events happen and turn it into a political issue. It was a radical Muslim. It was radical Islam that attacked, and terrorists are a real thing. So why not take this terrorist attack and use it to your own agenda to help enforce the banning of guns that you want? Do I believe that guns should be banned? Hell no. That's what this country is fucking founded on. Beer, fucking guns. It's what we do. It's fucking America. But they're going to take it, they're going to flip it, they're going to try and turn it into the gun needs to be banned or the religion needs to be banned, when in reality it was a crazy fucking asshole, and that's all there is to it. If somebody wants to kill somebody, they're going to fucking do it with or without a gun. And then that leads to our last topic of the day. That leads to the little boy with the alligator. Now, that's a sad event. Any way you look at it, it's a sad event, and there's blame to be placed, and there's faults to be pointed, fingers to be pointed, shit like that. But at the end of the day, the way you gotta look at it is a kid died, and it's sad, it's tragic. That kid should not have had his life cut so short, and his family should not have lost him at such a young age. I'm hearing different sides of this as well. There's always at least two sides to everything where people are going to take a stand. You've got people that are saying, why wasn't the pond blocked off? Why wasn't it fenced off? Because why the fuck would it be? It's a goddamn pond. Okay? Then there's people who are saying that there was no swimming signs. Why weren't there alligator warning signs? Because there was no fucking swimming signs. Alright, the kid shouldn't have been in the goddamn water. His parents should not have allowed him to go wading into water where it clearly says no fucking swimming. There's signs posted. Then there's blame that needs to be laid on the parents. Again, why were they allowing their child at 9 o'clock tonight to go walking around a pond in Florida? Somebody at work was arguing with me that because they're from Nebraska, maybe they didn't know any better. My daughter's from Maryland. We've never been to Florida. She knows better than to go near a fucking pond in Florida. It's common sense. There's gators there. That's what they do. They flock to water. People in Florida find them in their pools. So, I don't know. Blame whoever the fuck you want. I don't really care. That's my opinion on it. But this video is getting ready to wrap up. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about all the events. And let me know what you think about what I had to say about them. And, yeah. Till next time, I'm the F0ot. Later.